It's been almost 3 years since that first day. The day I walked out of my son's house with a single suitcase and a heart full of questions. If you ask me now what I remember most, it isn't the pain. It's the quiet moments in between. The sound of the door closing softly behind me, the weight of my shawl in my hands, the silence that taught me how to listen to my own heart. People often say that time heals everything. But I don't think that's true. Time doesn't erase the pain. It simply teaches us how to live beside it without letting it consume us. What truly heals is understanding. Understanding that people change. That love sometimes hides behind pride. That silence can be a form of fear, not rejection. And that forgiveness, real forgiveness, is not about forgetting what happened, but choosing to see love beyond the hurt. Now, when I sit in my small garden, I sometimes hear the laughter of my grandson in my memory. He is growing fast. Every time they visit, he brings me a flower from the garden and says, "For you, Dottie." He doesn't know that those tiny hands have already repaired so much inside me. Aisha and I have found a rhythm too. She still calls me for recipes, asks for advice, and even teases me about how I spoil her son. We don't talk about the past much anymore. We don't need to. The way she looks at me when she says Ammi now tells me everything words could not. And my son, my Imran, he has learned something too. Sometimes, when he holds his child, I see in his eyes a quiet apology. He doesn't say it out loud, but he doesn't need to. A mother always knows when her child's heart is speaking. I've come to realize that motherhood doesn't end when your children grow up or move away. It only changes shape. It becomes prayer, patience, and silent blessings whispered into the wind. There are still moments when I feel a little ache. When I wish my husband were here to see how life turned out, when I remember the home we once built together. But then I remind myself, every ending makes space for a new beginning, even if it takes time to see it. The day my daughter-in-law turned my son against me felt like the end of my world. But now, looking back, I understand, it was also the beginning of my strength. It taught me to let go without bitterness, to love without conditions, and to forgive even when no one says I'm sorry. If you're listening to my story tonight, maybe you too have felt betrayed or forgotten by someone you love. Maybe you've asked yourself why kindness isn't always returned, or why silence hurts so much. All I can tell you is this: hold on to love anyway. Don't let pain harden your heart. Because the people who truly belong in your life will always find their way back. Sometimes not through grand gestures, but through a simple knock on your door, or a child's laughter calling your name. And when that moment comes, you'll realize what I did. That forgiveness doesn't make you weak. It makes you free. Fade out sound cue. Soft wind, the gentle clinking of teacups, faint laughter in the distance. Last line, spoken softly. This is my story, the day my daughter-in-law turned my son against me, and how in losing them, I found myself again.